Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is F1 2018, and it's week 54 of the Game Decathlon competition. We're here in Azerbaijan with Williams Racing. It's Season 2 in career mode. See, I have not fully finished the practice programs as we are at the end of FP3 with just 2 minutes left on the clock. The big one that we have failed is the qualifying pace program, and I have no idea what's going on with the AI on this one, but they set such a lofty goal that was absolutely impossible to reach. If you look at the pace here on the left hand side, the objective, 7th place. What? How do they expect us to get 7th place with the second weakest car on the grid in AI difficulty level of 91? The estimated qualifying position from my best lap was 17th. And I gotta tell you, it was super challenging. Super challenging. And I did not get there. I did not do what I needed to do. The car is really hard to drive right now. Really hard. I fought for the fuel management, I fought for the tire management, and was lucky to get what I got on those. And I kind of benefited from FP2 being on intermediates. So, we are not in the kind of position I was in last year. Here's the big reason why. You've got this big, huge, long straight and a couple other big, long straightaways where the engine is massively important on this track. Right now, in terms of upgrades, our engine hasn't had any, and where we were a year ago in a great position, we're not in that position anymore. And then, to make matters worse, we've got a great chassis, but the aero department is still way weaker than where it should be.
Don't like the feel, don't hesitate to come back and undo it. You can save any setups that you like from the tablet, or you can always use one of the presets the team has built from our simulation data.
I've gone back and forth on setup a lot between FP1 and FP2. I went back to the neutral setup for a while, and that wasn't quite enough, and then eventually... Look at that. That was 6th. That was 6th, and I still didn't pass. This is where you tell it to bite me. Well, it did. Vettel, Bottas, Hamilton, top 3, Leclerc, Raikkonen, and I come in next. Rocking up there in P9. I mean, no, there's not much more I can do. And I'm very nervous for this race coming up because there's one turn that is so difficult for me, the final turn, where you have so much pace. But I have figured out the line on how to make it work.
How does your car stack up to the others in the wet? Is it competitive?
Let's go still the best in the field. There we go. A little showmanship.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today.
I did.
Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Down for... I'm going to no comment this one, because
Well, thanks anyway.
all the answers were negative, and every one of them was going to hurt one of the department's morales, so... Sorry, Claire. You don't give me a choice. An answer worth giving. Alright. The good news is we have 1,800 points. So before we get into qualifying, we will take a look at that. Okay, so we've already done this, finished 13th or better. We finished 10th, so good news on that one because I do not think I'm going to be in the points today. I'm actually nervous we're going to have another DNF today, but we will try. I'm good on this track, but this car right now, this season, is very difficult to drive. on this track. So durability department, morale is good. Everybody else is on normal. We did just get 2 more upgrades, and you can see now vehicle comparison. We actually have matched Force India this week. I didn't know we had done that. Let's see where we're at now. Wow, there you go. So with the continuous upgrades since the start of the season, we've now reached the back end of the midfield, leaving Toro Rosso behind. Now we've passed up Sauber, and we've even matched Force India this week. We're not far behind McLaren. So the car itself is better, but it's not there yet. It really isn't. But I hope it will be soon. And a lot of that comes down to the Aero upgrades that we need to add in. So the 2 that were just finished, we just got the diffuser on the rear downforce, and then we got some cascade winglets for front downforce. You can see Aero department there, we are still at the very bottom, and by a big margin. It's amazing how far back we are. It is time to do our first major upgrade on the front downforce. It's going to take 2 weeks to get done. So that'll be done in Monaco. And then we have a choice between these other 2 front wing end plates for drag. And that's going to continue pushing along where we need it to go. This is for rear downforce. Let's go ahead and get this drag update. That'll be ready next week in Spain. Which means we only need 330 next week, and we will easily come up with that. So we have 930 points left. What's it going to take here? 1400. We're still shy of the next factory upgrade in the powertrain department, and I really need to get things going on the engine power, as we just don't have what it takes anymore to keep up. We are, if you look here, there you go, Williams, we are down to level with Sauber for worst on the grid in the engine department, and that is finally got us really held back right now. So the car's not going to be very competitive for a while, even though, yes, we have the best chassis still, and still a decent gap to us and Ferrari in second. But as far back as we are behind in the Aero and the powertrain, it's not enough right now. But we're going to fly through these Aero upgrades now because they're cheap and they have 0% chance of failure, and they're going to come together quickly. So put that all together and we will be competitive. It's just right now for the next few races at least, this car is both slow and super hard to drive. Once I can make it easy to drive, we'll have some races where we're good at. We'll look a little bit like Red Bull in that department, but we've got to work on that powertrain. Gotta get that one going. So I'd very much like to contribute points there a little more often, but I've got to have a drivable car. Otherwise, we're going to DNF every weekend and lose our reputation and be on our way out of a job. So let's get that Aero up. I'm not going to touch the chassis for a while, I don't think. And the car itself actually is hurting a little bit, as we are now 71% worn on the ICE. I'm going to have to change it out next week. And that's slowing us down further than we already are. So we're going to be in the back for this race. We're going to head to qualify now and see if we can at least get out of Q1. I guess that's my goal.
Welcome to qualifying in the Republic of Azerbaijan. The teams are making their last-minute adjustments before the lights go green, and the fight for pole position can get underway. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Alright, drive for the qualifying. Really sunny for the first time this weekend, where we've had a partially cloudy and rainy through the practice sessions. In terms of tires, we might use everything we've got trying to get out of this session if we need to. So with that, we better get to it. We're going to go to track. Yes, park firme. We are now stuck with what we've got. So a worn ICE, but not in terrible shape just yet. And an ICE that's underpowered. So we're going to be definitely, as the acronym suggests, we're going to be on ice this race weekend. Let's jump straight into a flying lap and see. At this point, I just want to establish a time. So I'm going to drive semi-conservative on this lap. Let's see if we can at least put something out of the realm of away from last place. Ahead of the Williams, possibly anyway. Oh, I am in the Williams. Toro Rosso, I mean. I don't like how close I am to the car in front of me, and I'm starting to wonder, is that Sorokin that's just in front of me? It's a light blue. I don't think it's a Mercedes pulling away from me. I've got my teammate right there. By the way, my new wheel has arrived, but being that we are in the middle of December, it has found itself under a tree. Oh, seriously?
It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Caught a little curve on the exit, and it got me squirrely, and whoa, whoa! So we're gonna head back to the garage. And there goes our first representative time. In the wash. I'm getting a new wing on.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
And we're going to keep these same tires on. It's only 0.2 of a second difference. And I just want a clean lap, which is not what I got there.
We're 11th in the speed trap, 321.0 kilometers per hour.
Okay, let's try this again. Same tires, new wing. I was getting a little bit close to Sorokin there. And I was sure I was starting to suffer a bit of outwash, but that was on me. Ooh, that was close. That is my weak corner right there, and I have finally figured out 2 seasons here plus my manager challenge mode, where I've been there a couple times already as well. So 4 times in all, and I've finally figured out how to hit that corner right. There was a lot of guesswork in it last season. Pretty much all of my flashbacks would end up there. Of course, now I only get 1 flashback for the race, so that's not a problem. Not putting in the best time at the moment. Ooh, gosh. This is a terrible lap. I'm braking early so that I can make sure that I make the corners. And what I'm really doing is I'm totally messing with my racing line. Whoa! Oh, come on!
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
I'm just driving. Just driving there. Touch that curb. Just a tiniest touch on that curb. And lost all the grip. And there you go. We did not get a lap time in, so we're going to be starting from last place and making the team upset in the process. Great. Great, great, great. Sorokin's 11th and out of the session at least. Gasly, Van Dorn, Alonso, and Hartley are out. Well, there goes my chance on the rivalries here. They're both gonna take it in this upcoming race. So, I'm gonna suffer massively my next contract here. Oh, thank you, thank you. No loss of reputation.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid. But chin up.
Alright, well, we need to get to it, so there's nothing else I can do. Actually, there is something I can do. We are already going to be starting from last place, so we are going to take on massive penalties. And we're going to put on all these new, fresh parts. Oh, wait. Penalty. There we go. These parts. We're going to take a fully new engine after that crash. And start in last place. There we go. Gearbox is okay. Or should I put on a new gearbox? Oh man. Let's get back to that gearbox. 47% worn into the 4th race, which means it's going to be really far gone by the time we get to, what is it, Monaco for the 6th race? We put on a new one now. We're already starting in last, so let's go ahead and put on our second one now. Alright, let's head into our race weekend then.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez, Ocon, Sirotkin, Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc, Grosjean, Sainz, Marcus Ericsson, and Hulkenberg, Gasly, Van Dorn, Fernando Alonso, and Brendan Hartley. Magnussen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And the Professor. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Yeah. We're not going to get another top 10 finish today. Definitely not going to happen. So, now here's the big question. Do I think I'm going to make it 9 laps so that I can then change strategy? You know what? No. I don't. I don't think I'm going to make it 9 laps and then able to switch. But I also don't think that I'm going to go fast in the first place. So we're going to start on super soft. And let's see, can we, okay. Maybe that's better. Go 7, and then go 6. Just try to survive for a while. But then the tires are going to start falling off there at the end, right? I almost feel like I need a 2-stopper, but that's not going to help us. It could turn into a 2-stopper for me, though, which would definitely put me into last place, but we'll see. I'm going to need the extra fuel to drive faster. We'll put that in, and I guess that's going to do it. I've got to survive here. Corner 1 for sure. And all kind of the first lap as a whole. I almost want to drop back a little bit and just get some clean air because I'm going to struggle with the outwash. I mean, that's where I struggled on the first lap. Second lap was hitting the curb, and I already know, based on my setup, I need to avoid the curbs. I need to stay off the curbs, so there's one thing. But I've got to avoid some outwash, so I'm going to need some clean air to run in. So do I want to intentionally find it? I mean, I've got a Haas next to me. Yeah, I guess we'll just go with it. Shoot, I could be out on the first or second lap of this race if I'm not careful. So, careful first. With that, we're in Azerbaijan, and I'm driving scared. That's a bad sign. So, we're going to put up 5 red lights here in Baku. It is dry, at least. That's something. 65 grid place. Oh, I got a good start. I've got the inside. Little touch on Hulkenberg's wheel. An extra braking on the exit. So we're up into the middle of the back end, at least here. And technically clean through. Yes, I picked up a warning for a touch there, but Oh, Gasly! Gasly just shoves me into the wall.
You've taken some minor damage.
Completely up beside him, nowhere to go, and he pushes me into the wall. I knew I was not going to get through here clean.
Strategy is available on the MFT.
I'm going to drive for now, so no change. Well, wait.
Copy.
We're gonna pit. I want the clean air.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Yeah, see, I'm dropping back anyway, so... Oh shoot, I did not practice my pit entrance here during practice, so that's going to be a problem. And this corner upcoming is going to be a problem as well. Yeah, I'm struggling to turn way off the gas, which is going to give everybody else behind me a run, but at least I didn't crash there. Oh, come on! Gasly again! Gasly just put me in the wall. Ooh, 77. That was close. Wow, Gasly just took me out bad. Okay, here comes the new wing. Long pit stop, 7 seconds. And now I'm on the softs. Alonso stopped as well. Alonso is in the pits.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Ooh, why am I struggling to turn there? Alonso is right behind me. So he came out the same time I did. So I'm still not even in a clean racing situation. And he was not involved in what happened with me, so amazingly, Gasly has not destroyed his own car, or just chose not to pit anyway, after crashing me out, not once but twice. First one, I understand that he wasn't going to have much damage. He might have a little bit of barge board damage. But the second one, when he drove me straight into the wall, and got hard up under my gearbox, that almost certainly would have done him a world of hurt. Oops.
Next up is one of the McLarens. Some information on
Comes
Aero.
Alonso,
They have an
and
issue
I'm
with
gonna
their
let him
car.
go.
They're going to be slow.
I'm just gonna turn this off.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
There we go. Let Alonso go, and I actually want to drop back a little bit because I want some room. So we're gonna go lean. We're gonna go 0 for a while. It's gonna be harder to turn with him in front of me. So we're driving conservative. Gonna buy some space and see what a survival race looks like. Because there you go, Pierre Gasly is out of the race. That could be a carryover from what he did to me, or he took somebody else out. I bet you he had wing damage after taking me out. He is out right up here. So there you can see he pulled off up there. I would not be surprised at all if he did have wing damage but chose not to pit, and then because of that wing damage struggled through the turns. Did some additional damage here on this lap, which is lap 3 by the way, of 13.
Let's use some of this energy. Increase the ERS deployment.
Alright, Alonso's far enough away now that I can step it up a little bit. He's on super soft, so he is going to go for a two-stopper. So no wonder he flew by me.
We're trailing our teammate by 29.7 seconds.
Oof, 29 down. That's difficult to make up. Of course, he did start higher up the grid. Still putting away fuel that we're going to be able to use to make up some ground here when we decide we want to. I suppose we can go back to neutral for now. Anyway, I think I was saying at the beginning of qualifying before, well, right about here where I messed things up, that I did receive my new wheel, and I'll do a reveal on it a little bit later on, but I do not have it in use just yet because it's that special time of year, and the compromise with my wife for picking that up was that I had to turn it into my gift, so it got wrapped as soon as it arrived, and it's under the tree.
It is 3.2 seconds.
Okay, so 3-second gap to Alonso. That does give me the safety that I need to.
We're at +1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target +1.
To not have the outwash, so I'm far enough back to not have outwash. He is on super softs. He will pit again, and I could be going the distance here, so I could very well finish well ahead of Alonso if I can keep him at about this distance ahead for a good while. And I have that extra fuel mix to burn, so that's all looking good. Let's drop back to medium though, and now that the ERS is kind of in the happy medium zone, keep it there. I'll just keep driving a nice, clean, conservative race here and hope that we can make it the distance. Aw, really? I just touched the curb the tiniest bit, and it didn't want to turn anymore, even though I was well down on pace, but just touching that curb, car wouldn't turn. So here we go again. Already, downforce is down quite a bit, and a car that doesn't want to turn in the first place, as we have the worst aero package out there, wants to turn even less now. Teammate in pits, Sergey. Ooh, there's Magnussen right in front of me, and Van Dorn out behind me, as is somebody else. So I'm actually back into the mix for now. They're bunched up enough, I guess, that it's slowing them down. And they come out right here, so I'm not technically out of this race just yet, but now I'm going to deal with that outwash, which I don't want to deal with. I want to run in clean air. I've got a damaged wing again. Now I can run about 6 laps on the super softs. I might pit a second time, but then really all I'm gonna do is wow, that was difficult, and I park it and Van Dorn hits me. I couldn't go anywhere.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Okay, now it is time for a change. And pit again. I can't turn. I really can't turn now. The wing is badly damaged, so yes, we are going to have to pit again. So much for that. The amazing thing here is I actually haven't even used my one. I'm trying to save it for a terminal, because I probably will have a terminal damage here at some point. Van Dorengo, that was the only way to get through that corner. I barely made it there with the wing damage that I have. So yes, I cannot continue with this the way it is. Alright, we're going to go on rich and high when we come out. New wing again. Back on super softs at least till the end of the race.
Complete, go now.
And it's now Marcus Ericsson at the back of the grid. Of course, Alonso will have to pit again. He will not make it the race distance. And if I have a problem again, I may use that flashback for it. But then again, I might not, because I'm clearly in competition now for 18th at best, unless there are DNFs. And I've got to stay off the curbs, come on. It's the cold tires. I'm going to go to lean for a moment till these tires get up to temperature. This is not the time to... There you go. Max Verstappen is out of the race. This is what I'm banking on here. Moving up the grid via help. Otherwise, I'm in the back for this race now. In fact, I see cars closer to catching me from behind than I am to catching me one ahead. Oh no! Ah, funny. There we go with wing damage again.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
This car is just so bad on Aero. It is so hard to make these corners all the time, and it is so close to begin with. Oh, Ricardo! And it's Ricardo and Verstappen. Had to be. Ricardo and Verstappen. Ricardo is fighting to get back to the pits, struggling to get there, and it's Ricardo and Verstappen who took each other out. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Car's driving okay with the limited damage that I have to the wing, so we are not going to change that. But I am up to 17th now, and Ricardo's got to be a ways behind me.
The car behind has come in. They're now on the soft tyre. Softs on the car
Oh, and he's
behind.
on softs also.
The gap behind us is 5.7 seconds.
Okay, so 5.7 to Ricardo. That's going to be difficult for me because he can certainly make up 5.7.
13.4 seconds.
13 to Ericsson. Wow, that's actually not that far ahead, considering that I've made 2 stops. That means I'm faster than Ericsson. Just from that bunching that he had. Force India in a pretty decent position on track there. He's got to be up there in the standings, a good margin.
Ahead is 38.5 seconds.
Wow. So Sorokin's having himself a decent little race. Bad I'm not, but turn it up to rich mode for a little bit. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to save that for that straightaway. We'll use it there each lap. Kind of like our own little ERS deployment. Or DRS zone deployment. Yeah, there's a Force India well ahead of the Renault and everybody else in there. No sign of Ricardo yet. That's good. It's lap 9, almost lap 10. Okay, once I get into the clean air, because this is my unhappy zone. There we go. Turn that up to rich. Keep it the ERS on medium for a while. This will help me speed my laps up a little bit. Should have been doing this a long time ago. And actually, with only a handful of laps to go, I'm going to keep it all the way through the second straight.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
It's actually not coming down very fast at all. I might just leave it as it is for the entirety of the lap and see what that does. I'm just worried about the fact that I have... Yeah, see, I almost wrecked there. So, now it's not about the fuel burn. It's more about turning, having too much pace in these corners and not being able to turn. Remember, I do have a damaged wing, so... Alright. Turn that up for a little bit. Nice run going here. 19 seconds to Ricardo. Okay, 19 seconds to Ricardo. He still has a problem.
13.9 seconds.
Oh, 13 to Ericsson. Okay, I am not catching Ericsson. That hasn't changed. So, after that whole lap, he's still the same distance ahead that he was. Back down here. At this point, we're just trying to get to the race in one piece. I could at least congratulate myself that I have not used my one and only flashback, and it's looking likely that I could get to the end of this race without having used it. Downside being that I'm down in P17. I've got enough of a gap, I'm not worried about Ricardo anymore. As long as I don't wreck myself any further. Now what I could use is another big crash, or, you know, like Bottas having a blown tire with about a lap to go.
Laps of fuel remaining.
Or safety car. Safety car would be nice. That'll bunch us up. Of course, that means that I run that risk of not finishing the race, but bunching us up will make a huge difference on giving me a chance to move up a few spots. But I'm in P17. My contract says P17, so at least I've got that much going for me. back down to standard before I give myself problems through this section. Be nice if somebody had a problem.
14.2 seconds.
I've lost a little time on Ericsson. Driving more conservatively now that I know my position is no longer in jeopardy for these final 2 laps. Tire wear is just fine. I'm not feeling a thing from that. Oop. Had to get off the gas there. I did not have the correct line. That was the time where I would have hit the wall. And I've not done it. I've been so clean through there. It's been amazing. But I finally know how to take that corner. But this time I understood that I was not on the right line. I was not going to be able to correct that line.
Final lap of the race.
And I wisely got out of it. Yes, that cost me about a half a second. But that is okay. So Sebastian Vettel has won the race, and I'm still just at the end of Sector 1. So I am a good ways behind, but of course it was a 2-stopper, and for almost everyone else it was a 1-stopper. Surprisingly, I have not seen Alonso. Oh no. Let's use it. Flashback. Let's use that flashback. Let's see, did I do okay through here? Not so much, but we'll go from there. So apparently I wanted to use my flashback, and I wait till the final lap. Oh gosh. I'm trying to let Ricardo get closer apparently at the end of the race here. No, not really. The tires are starting to go a little bit, but that's on me. But I do pull it off at least. P17. Not a good race though, as very early on. Lap number 1, Gasly takes me out once and then twice. And completely spoils my day. But at least Gasly finished behind me.
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs.
Wow, Vettel kept his head in Baku?
To maximize the strategy
surprising.
to stay out of trouble.
There's Hulkenberg in 9th.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever
Hamilton
you go,
second,
anywhere
Raikkonen
in the
third.
world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
Whoa, bad move on your teammate there. They need some more podium celebrations. They need to mix
And
it up a
after
little
this
bit more.
round of the World Championship,
Oh,
here's how
Sorokin,
things
so
look in the
close.
drivers'
11th
It's a good result
place.
for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table.
2.5
Moving on
seconds
to
down
The
now.
driver of the day then, Anthony Davidson. Who would you go for?
I have to give it to Brendan Hartley. Consistency, good battles, sensible driving. He can be pleased with that performance.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Sauber, whose good results moves them further up the championship. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
Okay, so Sauber picks up some big points to jump into 7th place. We come so close to getting a point from my teammate who has never had one. Red Bull on just 41 points, only 3 points ahead of Renault now, as they pulled the same move they had in real life and crashed into each other. Hamilton actually extends his lead because he finished 2nd, Raikkonen was 3rd. Vettel does move up to 4th place, now on 52 points, so he just about doubles his total. Perez with a big move on the day after a solid finish, and Ricardo is 10th in points with just 11 so far. With Sorokin's 11th, his best result in non-scoring, that puts him up into the best of the rest of the 0-point scorers. Hartley, good finish for him, but still does not get the points. Alonso does make the one-stopper work and gets all the way up to 13th. Not sure how he managed to do that on Super Softs. 12 laps. Interesting that he was able to get those to go that long, and I, on the other hand, had to make a 2-stop race. They put me on softs, which would have made the one-stopper work if I didn't have the additional crash, but I do finish well ahead of Ricardo. Verstappen DNFs after these two crashed into each other. Gasly, who took me out twice, ends up with the DNF a lap later. I was 15 seconds down of Van Dorn, and Ericsson actually passes Van Dorn on the final lap for 15th. I was close to Magnussen at one point, and Alonso, so you can see these guys were all there together, and then I lost the additional time with the second stop, and that one was on me. Otherwise I would have been up there apparently in 15th. So if I didn't have to pit a second time, I would have finished in P15. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. You had a bit of a rivalry going on, but it looks
Yeah, I
like
lost.
he bested you.
Sure, let's put it on the power unit.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
We need more downforce. That's probably going to be a negative.
Appreciate your
Again,
time.
those are probably both going to be negative. Like when you're down. They're just going to keep kicking you. But this is also going to be both rivalries lost. Yep, they both reached 31. Still pick up decent points here. Plus we get that team goal bonus, so we're back up to 1900. So we are going to at least we have the team goal accomplished. That'll make up a lot, and that does boost the team reputation. Thank you.
That's a
Contract
great result.
negotiation.
You did
Okay,
really
let's
well.
go ahead and get that done
I
here
don't
real
think we
quick
can have any
before we
complaints with
end
our performance.
the episode. We have a 3312 right now, but our value is probably lower. 3312.
Here we can adjust the terms of our proposal. The more ambitiously we set our targets, the more willing the team will be to give us better perks. We'll have a few chances to suggest a deal, but we need to be careful. If a proposed contract exceeds your value to the team, it will be rejected, and too many attempts will leave us
Okay,
stuck
we'll
to the
drop this
original
one
offer.
down. 33112. So we've dropped this down to make up, and that's probably going to be enough. Let's try 18th there. Yeah, let's try 18th there. Let's see what happens.
Okay, that proposal
yeah,
looks good.
okay.
It seems all parties are happy
That
with the deal,
one drop
so it'll commence
of the
next
upgrade
race.
speed was easily covered, so we were able to drop a qualifying position by 1, race position by 1, and that certainly helps make life easier to keep the reputation building. I'm actually well below my value on that.
You're being compared favorably against your teammate. Well done. As long as you're in the same car, they'll always be your number one rival. So it's important to keep this up.
R&D. Oh yeah, there you go. Aero and powertrain are now poor. Good job, me. Let's go ahead and put some points into the powertrain, though. Not there, but here, where it doesn't have an impact. We're going to spend 1,400 there. And that's it. So, I'll see you next race. I believe we're heading to Spain next. Bye for now.